Hello everybody. I want to go over a few things about monomials and the greatest common factor in this video. Some of you have been sending me some questions, so I'm going to this should go quickly. I'll spend a minute or two on each of these, and I think this should help. So what we're supposed to do is find the greatest, not just one factor, the greatest, the most, the greatest common factor. So it's in common, so it's got to be in both. So we have a set of two monomials here, right? A monomial is a one-term polynomial. So I have 2v and I have 6v squared. What I want you to remember is 2v means 2 times v, and 6v squared actually means 6 times v, right? Because that's v squared. So let's look at the coefficients here. What is the greatest number that can be divided into 2 and 6? That's 2. Okay, I wouldn't choose 1, I wouldn't choose 6. 2 is the greatest number that divides into both. Now, this monomial only has 1v, whereas this has 2 v's. So how many v's can we take out of each? So, can I take 1v out of this one? Sure I can. Can I divide out 1v out of this one? Sure. Can I divide out 2 from this? Yes, I can. But can I divide out 2 v's from here? The answer is no. So my greatest common factor is 2v. All right, let's keep it going over here. Now, IXL did put a couple of these in there, so I want you to be careful. 8p to the third represents 8 times p times p times p. All right, I think I said that 3 times. 17 is just 17. So first of all, let's go right to the variables. This has p times p, or p cubed. How many p's does this have? None. So can I divide any p's out of these 3? Sure I can. I could take 1 or 2 or 3. How many p's can I divide out of here? None. So p is not part of our greatest common factor. As a matter of fact, what can I divide into 8 and 17? Oddly enough, guys, the greatest common factor is 1. That doesn't have anything else in common. All right, number 3, 5u to the fourth, 15u squared. So I'm going to write this out as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times u times u times u times u. And then the other one is 15u squared, which is the same as 15 times u times u. Now, let's start with the coefficients. What is the greatest number that I can divide into both 5 and 15? Yes, that would be 5. What is the greatest number of u's that I could divide out of both? Well, this is 4 of them. This is 2 of them. So I could divide out u squared, or 2u's. I could also divide out 2u's over here. So the greatest common factor here would be, whoops, it's sloppy, would be 5u squared, and that's what you would type into IXL because they wanted you to simply find the greatest common factor. That'll change in the next video. Finally, I haven't seen any like this, but I know that you'll see this next year in Algebra 2, so I figured I'd give it a shot. So I have 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 12m to the fifth is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N to the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 12 times 5n's times 4n's. The next term, right, the next monomial, and still both of these are monomials, right? One-term polynomial. So I have 18m squared, so m times m, and I have times n to the third, or n cubed. So now, here we go. Again, what is the highest number that I could divide into 12 and 18? Yes, I could divide 1 into both. I could divide 2 into both. I could divide 3 into both. But the greatest number that I could divide into 12 and 18 is going to be 6. Okay? Excuse me. Next, I want to look at my m's. This has 5 m's. This has 2 m's. The most m's I can divide out of both would be 2. So I'm going to write that down as m squared. Similarly, over here, we have 4 n's and 3 n's. What is the most we can divide out of both terms? Well, I can't divide 4 out of here. This had 4, but this doesn't have enough. So I can divide out 3 n's from each. That would be n to the third. So the greatest common factor would be 6m squared n cubed. All right? Hope that helps, guys.